Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Yes, welcome back to my old garden. I should say previous garden. Look at my crepe myrtle tree. Doesn't it look so beautiful? It's like sending us off with one beautiful flush of fuchsia blooms, or whatever color you want to call that, beautiful pink. Today we are here. It is moving day. The movers are going to be here in about 10 minutes with their trucks. They're bringing 2 trucks. One truck is just for my gardening stuff. Yes, I know, it's ridiculous. And then another truck for all the stuff inside our home. And I have to be honest, I am super anxious. I get so incredibly anxious on moving day. Jason and I have moved, I mean, so many times. I think I've told you all this before, but I used to be a physical therapist before I started doing this. Jason still is a physical therapist. And before we had kids, we used to be traveling physical therapists. So we would travel all around the country, live in different places for 3 to 6 months at a time, depending on the length of how long our contract and how long they needed us. So we have moved so many times, and every single time I get so incredibly stressed out on today. So if I'm a little stressed today, I just want to warn you all, that's why. And I think it's just because all my stuff is all over the place. I don't know where anything is. Everybody's like touching my stuff and moving my stuff, and you know, I can't be 10 places at once, so I have to like trust everybody to take care of everything. So it's just kind of an anxious day for me, I think, but I'm also very excited because you know that this is it. We're moving on to the new property, and tonight we're gonna sleep at the new property, which is really fun. So the girls are sitting in their room. They have Jeffrey in their room. The bunnies are at the new house, so we don't have to worry about them. Jason and I, poor Jason was up until like, I don't know, 1 o'clock last night, and then we woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, so he needs to take a nap later today for sure. But we're just trying to get everything all ready to go, to get it out of here and to get it in our new place. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting day. Yesterday I had to go around, and this was another very anxiety inducing thing. I had to go around and I had to cut back all the flowers of my pots, and I had to take a deep breath, and I had to put on my big girl panties, and I had to go through and I had to cut back all my beautiful blooms so that the movers could move all my pots. So that's done. I'm hoping that the plants will take it as like a mid-season cutback, and they'll flush back once I get them hooked up on drip, and I'm gonna fertilize them, you know, hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have time to fertilize them all tomorrow, and then maybe I'll get a new flush of blooms with all the beautiful annuals that I have planted in there. So yeah, everybody cross your fingers for me. I hope today goes okay. You know, it's gonna be fine. I just have to keep telling myself, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Here's a quick peek at how my garden is doing right now. I have to admit, I have been neglecting it. I've been focusing on the new house, but I think the garden is looking pretty good even with all the neglect. I mean, it's looking great actually. So the swoop is doing beautifully, really nice, especially because the lantana are finally starting to take off. I wish the lantana had gotten a little bit bigger with the swoop, but you know what, it's okay. It is what it is. One of the things I do need to take care of before I leave is pruning back my roses. You can see I have these little shoots going up everywhere. I need to kind of take care of those a little bit, just train them a little bit as much as I can. And then my cottage garden is just looking beautiful. Needs a little bit of pruning back, but not too bad. I do want to point out one of my favorite plants, one of my new favorite plants, and that's whirlwind blue scaevola. Look at this thing. It is thriving on neglect. That's the prettiest I've ever seen it. I haven't fertilized this in like 3 weeks. It looks so good. So good. And then I wanted to show you this luscious lantana. This is luscious lantana citron. This is my favorite lantana, hands down. I just think it is the prettiest color of yellow. It's just beautiful. So that is my favorite luscious lantana, if you all were wondering. Look at that. Ah! It looks good. Of course, the day we're leaving, it's looking absolutely beautiful. They're here. second truck is here. Oh boy. I missed it. They were so fast. They took away the 3 big pots in like a minute. Looking pretty bare back here. I've got my 3 pots there are gone, packed up. My bench is gone and the 2 pots, and even the hydrangea back there in the pot is coming. We are leaving the berry barrels because we're afraid they're gonna fall apart if they try and move them. So the 3 big white pots are gone. That was crazy. They moved those so quickly. I think they're trying to take the couch out the back door. And then you can see everything's gone. Greenhouse is empty. I'm gonna miss this greenhouse. Stock tanks are gone. And pots are gone. Peek of the house. All right, so far so good. Everything seems to be going pretty well, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything. So the movers have everything from the old house put in those 2 big trucks, which is just crazy to see all your belongings just in 2 trucks, really 1 truck, and all my gardening stuff is in the second truck. And you guys, oh my goodness, it all didn't fit in the second truck. And so they came to me and they said, "Are you okay if we put some of the garden stuff in the other truck?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. I have way too much gardening stuff." But yes, so my gardening stuff took up 1 full truck and then a little bit of the other truck, more than actually the house stuff. Now granted, the house stuff can be kind of fit together Lego style, but I just thought that was too funny. I was pretty embarrassed. So anyway, they are taking a well-deserved lunch break right now. Jason just got here. He's running around doing stuff. I grabbed the girls. We went in the car with Jeffrey. We stopped and got some sandwiches for lunch and then ran over here. And now this is the time when I have to be on, because I have to basically be the director and tell the movers where everything goes. And I recognize that the better I am at telling them where things go, the less Jason and I have to move things later. So I want to be really on top of it and have them put things exactly where I want them. I'm sure we'll end up having to move a lot of stuff, but the better I can do now, the less work Jason and I will have to do later. So I will try and get as much footage of this part as possible, but if I don't, that's why, because I'm going to be the director. close to it. Perfect. So excited. Doesn't that look good? Not in the closet. He's so excited.
I know, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh. I'm like the most excited about this starting shelf. And done. The movers have left. That was a whirlwind. I am exhausted and I didn't even do the moving. I know Jason's exhausted, but he didn't get any sleep last night. But it just feels really, really good to have most of our stuff moved to the new property. We still have some random stuff back at the old place that we can take in our car that we just didn't get around to packing into boxes. So we still have a couple of that stuff to do, but really not a lot at all. So I'm just so impressed with those movers. Those guys, they work hard and they deserve all the money and more that they charge, because I mean, what would we do without them? They were so strong. The fact that they could carry those stock tanks was just incredible to me. And it just, oh my goodness, I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, and they did it. They did it really, really well. So anyway, I was telling you all that Jason and I used to move like all the time, like every 3 to 6 months when we were traveling for work. And then even when the girls were born, we ended up moving about every 2 years, just because, you know, we were renting houses and had to change houses and then bought a house and so on and so on. And when we would move, I would always like go crazy, and I could not settle down and I couldn't relax until I had all my stuff put exactly where I felt like it needed to go. And I basically unpacked in like a day or two. And I have a feeling that that was like a coping mechanism for moving so often and so many times, that it just made me feel better to get settled in right away so that I wasn't in that moving phase for too long. I would say this is the first house, even the last house I did that. This is probably the first house that I haven't had that urge to try and do as much as I can in the next couple days, because I feel like we're gonna be here for a long time. And I know I felt that with the last house. And I don't wanna say this is a forever house, because I said that with our last house and we can all see what happened with that. But I just don't have that feeling, and I'm actually kind of relieved that I don't have, I'm not super stressed about putting everything away and setting everything up and unpacking everything as immediately. Like right now, I know my family and we need to rest and we need to kind of sleep and relax. And there's still a ton of stuff happening. I have an irrigation guy coming over tomorrow because we found out the irrigation is completely busted. Yes, I'll tell you all about that tomorrow. We don't have to worry about that today. But anyway, let me show you all around. It is chaos, and it's probably going to be like this for a little while, so you'll probably see it in the background of the videos. And for once, I think I'm okay with that, and I'm really happy about that. Okay, I'll start off back here. This area, they just kind of threw everything. So we have not set anything up because the painter is going to start on the exterior house painting, including the deck right here. He's starting next Monday. So that's just, what is it? That's a week. This is Monday today. So that's a week from now. So there's no point to put all that stuff up there and then have to take it back down again. Also, it's like super dirty up there. So he's going to come out and he's going to power wash everything. So we just told the movers just to kind of leave it out there. So I will say, so everything that Michael Glassman talked about is wonderful, and I'm planning to do most of it, maybe have a couple tweaks or something like that, but that's a really long-term plan. So like for right now, we're gonna keep this deck exactly how it is, and I'm gonna have the painter paint it this like a light gray, probably this like a black, I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. But basically we're gonna like slap lipstick on a pig and make it look a little bit nice until we can, you know, save up enough money to be able to start replacing things. So I just wanted to point that out to all of you. I know a couple of you were asking me about why I didn't take the cabinets out of the kitchen yet, and it's simply because, you know, there's just so much stuff happening and we're kind of maxed out at this point. So we are going to get to all this stuff. It's just going to be more of a long-term process. This is not going to be like a couple month house renovation. I think most of you know that, but I just wanted to point that out. So we are going to be painting the deck gray, just next week. So anyway, that's why all this stuff is here. And then this is my big pile, that's kind of staring me in the face. This is all the stuff that I forgot to have a plan for. And I cannot believe that. I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about where I was going to put all of these pots. I think I know where I want to put that pot. There's a matching one. I was thinking about putting it on either side here, but then I'm thinking I have some aqua pots from Proven Winners, and I might want to put those just because there's not irrigation there yet. Anyway, I haven't decided all of that, but I asked them to put all the pots together, and then I took my hose and I put it here, just so that I could reach and I could water everything really easily. So that's what this whole mess is. And then we have the metal workshop, and it's full. It's full of my gardening stuff. We've got some bikes back there. Just a lot of gardening stuff that I have to go through, and I have to figure out how I'm going to organize all of it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to organize it very well, just because we don't have any organization like a slat wall, you know, like we had in our last garage. We don't have any of that in here. So I'll just try and do my best, but at least it's in here, and at least it's safe, and at least I know where everything is. So as I'm working on the garden, working on a garden bed, if I'm, you know, looking for a trellis or an obelisk or something like that, I'll know where it is. So that's all that stuff in there. Here's where we had them put the stock tanks right here. They're not centered, but isn't that nice having them right there? And then there is irrigation right behind it, that does work if I turn on a faucet over there, but the irrigation guy hopefully will hook it onto a whole system. You know, like I said, we'll deal with that tomorrow, and we'll have to figure out how to even those out, even though they're so heavy. I'm gonna have to empty those out. Here's our mess of a garage, filled to the brim with boxes, and my goodness, I have to make dinner tonight, and I have to find my pots and pans. And so I've been trying to go through a little bit and move them. I know I have one kitchen box and it's labeled with pots and pans, and I know it's somewhere, and I really should just get takeout tonight, but we've had takeout for like the past week, and so nobody wants takeout. We all want a home cooked meal. So hopefully I'll be able to find the pots and pans after I finish here. Okay, let's go inside. More chaos. Absolute chaos. My plants have taken over the kitchen. That looks nice, right? Over here, at least we got the table in where the dining room's gonna go. Hey, Jeffrey. Hi, you okay? I know, this is crazy, huh? Yes, this is crazy, huh? Yeah. Okay, coming in here. Oh boy. Oh boy. We'll figure this out. These are our new couches. They look very similar to our old couches, but I like them a lot. You can tell I know what I like, and I kind of stick with it. Even if it might not be totally in style right now, I don't care because I love it. So we've got a lot of setup to do here. I will get to that. I actually bought a rug pad. We didn't have a rug pad in our last house. I bought a rug pad for this one, which I'm really excited about, but that doesn't get here for a couple days. So this room might stay like this for a little while, and that's okay. For now, we have the bunnies in here. Hey girls. Hi. We have the bunnies in here. This is actually Sadie's room, and I think the girls are in the bunny bungalow setting up right now. So then we will take the bunnies into the bunny bungalow, and they'll be happy in their new home, I hope. And then let's see. Oh yeah. This is where the girls were hanging out today. That's fun. And then here's the master. Last thing I want to show you is the 3 white pots. where the zigzag planters are. I just thought this was so funny. So this was my plan. Like I said, with Michael Glassman, we have a whole bunch of plans, but they're gonna take a while. So I wanna do some easy, quick things in the meantime. I can't tell if you guys can see that because the sun's directly in my eyes. But, so my whole plan was to put these 3 big white pots in the zigzag, and that would totally distract you from seeing the zigzag planters, right? Doesn't it didn't it do a fantastic job of distracting us from the zigzagness? I mean, they put the planters here, and I was like, oh, well, that didn't distract very much. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to embrace the zigzag planter until we can get the big renovation and the whole courtyard and all that kind of stuff. So we will get there. For now, we've got a zigzag planter with 3 big white pots in between it. Oh, and thank you so much to every one of you that commented about my little circle of fruit trees right here. All of you said that there is a book from the Dave Wilson Nursery, which is the fruiting calendar that I found in the garage, and it's called, I think, Grow a Little Fruit Tree, and these are supposedly planted in that style of the Grow a Little Fruit Tree book, recommended by Dave Wilson Nursery. So I don't know anything about it, but I'm so excited, and I'm going to order that book tonight. So all of you that made that comment on the video that you're seeing on Monday, thank you so much. That was incredibly helpful. Okay, so that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for sticking around and watching. It's so much fun to be going through this whole experience with you. And I really appreciate, like I said, with those comments with the fruit trees and all the other comments, you all are just so wonderful and so sweet, and I'm having such a good time. So I have to go find some pots so I can make dinner. If I cannot find them, we're calling out for Chinese food. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.